I believe that we have been called for a special purpose. Do you believe that? I mean, we have an amazing day and age that we live in to be called the children of God. I want to tell you about a very familiar story that we're all familiar with, Samson, because I think that we can learn a little bit about his experience, and I think it parallels a lot of our experience in our Christian walk today. If you remember the story, the angel came down and told Manoah and his wife, they're going to have this special son, and he's going to have this special purpose for God. And the angel told him, there's 3 things that I don't want this boy to do. If you remember, one of them was he's not allowed to have strong drink. Number 2, he's not allowed to eat anything unclean. And number 3, he's not allowed to cut his hair. 3 simple things. Don't do those 3 things, for you are set aside for a special purpose for God. Well, of course, we know as the story unfolds, Samson, as he's getting into his young years and he wants to have a bride, he sees a woman and he's going out and visiting her, and she's a Philistine woman. And as he's coming back, he's coming through a vineyard. And this is when the lion attacks him. And it says the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he rent the lion like as if he rent a kid. And as he went and he visited the woman, he came back by the carcass, and he saw honey that was in the carcass. And he bent down and he tasted some of that honey, right? Now, first of all, I have to question anybody in their sanity that would eat honey out of a dead carcass of a lion. But nonetheless, Samson does this, and he takes some of the honey and he takes it to his mom and his dad and gives it to them to eat, and they ate it. Now, follow me here. Look at this. Samson, going out, it says that he's walking through a vineyard. Now, if he's not supposed to have strong drink, what's he doing walking through a vineyard in the very midst and seeing how close he can actually get to his thing he's not supposed to do? Then as he eats the honey out of the lion, remember, he's not supposed to eat anything unclean. Well, a dead animal is an unclean animal, and here he eats something that's unclean. And listen to this. He goes and he gives it to his parents. Doesn't tell them where it came from. They're not supposed to eat anything unclean either. And they eat of it. You see, this is how sin is. We often, in our Christian walk, we want to see how close to the edge of the line can we get. Can we walk up to the line? Can we put our toe over the line? Can we look over the edge? And as we understand the story of Samson, it gets worse and worse and worse until he's sleeping with a harlot, and he gets taken over by the Philistines. They put his eyes out. He has a terrible ending to his life. But you know what I find that's amazing about this story as well? It says that the Spirit of God was with Samson. Even after he ate the unclean thing and walked through the vineyard, it still says that the Spirit of God came upon Samson until the moment that he told Delilah the truth of his sword, the source of his strength. Brothers and sisters, my plea to you today, God is a very patient God. He labors with us, and he wants us to do what he's asking us to do and be. Brothers and sisters, do you hear the words of God? Do you know what he's asking of you today? And brothers and sisters, we serve an amazing God that even though we step out of line, he loves us even down to the end.